He's the fan favorite. They love talking about Stafford, the 38-year-old guy. He's the Super Bowl champ. We got the family. Any opportunity to pump McVay and Stafford as a team, they do that. They love this team. They loved Aaron Donald, and rightfully so. Best defensive player, but they love to pump up Stafford.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
When you look at Duke, you got to look at Cam Boozer. 18 points. The Bruiser, I may call him. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. I know he shot the ball 1 of 4 from 3, but he's showing his ability to really be a different player than his dad. A little bit more dynamic, a little bit more athletic.
College Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Ashton Genty has been hit behind the line of scrimmage more than any player in the National Football League. Yep. So you just gave him the ball in the end zone. Do the math. How's that going to work out?
It's like what I said earlier.
He got hit behind the line of scrimmage. He got tackled in the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh, they're terrible. But the thing is, Brady, you draft offensive linemen before you draft a star running back. Like they went backwards.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Goff and Mahomes were never taken serious. Hurts won't be, even if they're the 1 seed. Jonathan Taylor plays running back. Stop. Mahomes lost the head-to-head to Josh. Can I confidently eliminate every single person booked behind Josh Allen to at least beat out Josh Allen? So I'm in a head-to-head with Stafford May?
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone A. Johnson here. Of course, this is our Thanksgiving Eve special, 1 hour and on our way home. Of course, Tyrone's staying in New York City like a European tourist so that he and his beautiful wife can enjoy watching the different Thanksgiving Day, Macy's Day Parade of balloons be blown up. Because that sounds like a lot of fun for absolutely nobody. But that's also why they invented edibles and legalized marijuana in New York City, so that people like Tyrone, and again, his beautiful wife of 20-plus years, can enjoy a couple days in New York City, the greatest city of all, until the Marxist and communist takes over in about 3 weeks. Mamdani as our new mayor, and can enjoy a little slice of Americana while in our great city. And that's what's funny about, when we talk about these battles in sports between like New York and Philadelphia, White Sox and Cubs, right? I don't know, Giants and Dodgers, Cowboys and Redskins are now Commodores, right? There's these battles. But what's interesting about it, while everybody likes to take their shots at my great city, New York City, where I was born and raised, you find it's interesting that people from Philadelphia come to visit New York. You understand that? People from New York never go to visit Philadelphia. The only time New Yorkers ever go to Philadelphia is when they're on a yellow school bus in elementary school and they had to pay the extra $25 to go see the Lincoln Monument, the White House and all those things that are a part of our country's history.
Yeah, that's D.C. though.
That's right. We never go to Philadelphia.
You go to Liberty Bell. Don't you dare talk about the Liberty Bell like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, by the way, there's a steakhouse 3 blocks away from here that has an original copy of the Declaration of Independence
original copy?
on its wall.
It's a copy. It's not the original.
It's the original.
It's not the original.
Yes,
the original is in Philadelphia.
Keene Steakhouse in New York City
has a copy.
Has an original Declaration of Independence. And by the way,
it's
just on the wall. It's not protected.
Yeah.
There's no alarm on it. There's no security.
It's a lack of respect from you New Yorkers.
Bang, it's on the wall.
Lack of respect.
But obviously, Philadelphia is a great town.
Lack of respect.
Now, Philly's got 2 great things going for it. Soft pretzels. I will say New York embarrasses itself with the soft pretzel game. Philly soft pretzels are the best in the world.
They are.
And they've got a little something that's called water ice. Now, for those of us in New York that grew up on the mean streets of New York or in the 5 boroughs, we had Italian ice.
Not the same.
Pick your favorite Italian name, and they had ices. We called them ices, right?
Yeah.
And you had the little brown wooden spoon, and then what you would try to do when you got the ices is you would scrape, and you'd flip it over because all the syrup was on the bottom, and that was the best bite you'd ever have. In Philly, they have something called water ice, which is basically just a watered-down version of Italian ice, and it's the greatest thing you will ever put in your mouth ever. So I give Philadelphia credit for water ice, which I love. I almost became a Rita's Water Ice franchisee.
Yes.
I was offered all of Atlantic City as my territory. And I said, great, we'll put them on the boardwalk. And they said, no, you can't put it on the boardwalk. You need to be in Atlantic City.
Forget all that.
If you know anything about Atlantic City, not a good place to have a cash business.
No.
Not a good place. So we said no to that. But I'm fond of Philadelphia. We gave them the responsibility of hanging on to one amazing American artifact, the Liberty Bell, and they broke it because they can't be trusted with anything of any importance.
False.
Sorry.
It was a defective bell before we got it. It was a defective bell, and then you gonna blame us. Oh, I didn't know. A lemon, just like all those lemon cars New York been selling for years.
Yeah, we're still selling them. Anyhow, it is Thanksgiving Eve. We're gonna have a great time today. It's funny you're talking about the difference between New York and Philly. New York typically hangs on to its star players as long as it can, and we'll take everyone else's star players as well because we think we're the city of stars. The reality is that Philadelphia can't get rid of their stars fast enough, and you're going to watch it happen again. We've talked about it a few times on the show with Jalen Hurts and the fact that they're trying to run him out of town. But that's not the lead story today, so I apologize for going off on a New York-Philly tangent there for a second. The lead story today is something that people that do it, what we do for a living, all need to take a half step back and recognize that we owe the audience an apology. Because a lot of times when you listen to talk shows on TV and radio, they lose sight of what do the listeners and the viewers care most about. And there are times historically when you need to tell the listeners and viewers the stories they should care the most about, because sometimes you just don't know. A lot of you, it's a tough life. You're busting your ass at work, you got kids, you got a wife, you got a lot of responsibility. And when you turn on the radio driving to work, or you turn on your favorite podcast, or turn on your favorite sports TV show, sometimes you count on people like me and Tyrone to tell you what the big story is, to tell you the story that you need to know about, to tell you what the biggest story in sports is. And everyone from coast to coast has failed you in that regard. Right now, in all of sports, there is one story, and only one story, that the American public needs to be made aware of so they can formulate their own opinions on it. And it is not Shedeur Sanders getting his second consecutive start for the Cleveland Browns. And despite what some clowns think, he is not the most important African American in this country since Obama, which is just mind-bogglingly stupid that a network would employ someone to say something so dumb. Another story for another day. He's a big story. He's not the biggest story.
No, not
now,
the world.
Tyrone has viewed me over the course of his amazing career as a bit of a big brother, an uncle figure who just came up 10 years before him and was blessed to have great success. So this is going to be an opportunity for the teacher to find out if the student has learned a damn thing in the 20-plus years that we have been friends.
Oh,
and
boy.
I'm proud to call you a friend. You know that.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Shedeur off the table. And we did not discuss this at all on purpose because I want to see where your head is at.
Okay.
The number one story in sports in this country that nobody is talking about and the audience needs to be made aware of it is what?
It's a tough one.
It shouldn't be a tough one.
It is a tough one.
And by the way, I'll allow you to use, if you want, the lifeline of two producers downstairs if they want to chime in and help you out.
Yeah. Now there's a few things.
And here's the thing. We're not doing anything else on this show until we get the answer.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're just going to throw that at the only thing that we should be talking about.
Look, there's a lot of stories to talk about.
Yeah.
There is a story to talk about.
Right.
Obviously, you got 3 games tomorrow worthy of talking about. College basketball is underway, worthy of talking about. Maybe not in an hour show, but a 3-hour show for sure.
Yeah.
So there is a story, and I'm a student of the game.
A story that you've brought up previously?
Nope. And that's why I'm guilty of this as well. We are living in a very special time right now, and for some reason, nobody's either aware of it or talking about it. And it frankly bothers me because this is why I'm special. This is why I'm so employable. This is why I'm always number one. Go ahead.
Now, is it the missing high school coach?
Okay. By the way, very interested in that story. We are going to talk about the story of Travis Turner down in Virginia, high school football coach, going for a state championship. He's already got 1 or 2 under his belt. Who literally walked into the woods and disappeared a week before a championship game, and now he's allegedly involved in child porn.
Right.
We're going to get into that story.
Is it the many World Cup scandals that have come out with that huge
I'm aware of the
Ronaldo
story. Ronaldo got a red card in a pre-World Cup qualifier, and according to FIFA rules, you get a red card, you miss the next 2 games. But for Ronaldo, the second of those missed 2 games would be game 1 of the World Cup, and FIFA came out and said, we're not suspending him for the World Cup. We need him in the World Cup because it's in the United States of America. Nope, that ain't it.
Is the NFL owners colluding for us to not have information?
No, that happened also. Started with Woody Johnson, does not want players to be able to publicly grade owners.
Is it LeBron James, who's playing great basketball? Is it LeBron James saying that he's not sure about his retirement plans?
Another story we'll get to today. LeBron James did not decide, allegedly, whether or not he's going to retire after the season. And again, incorrect.
Is it the
0 for 4.
Is it the Rocket League thing with the high school?
I love the Rocket League thing. 0 for 5. All right, here's what I want you to do. You have a 2-minute break. 2 and 2, Chuck Woolery. Think about it. After 2 minutes, I'll tell you the answer.
Close to $1 million in volume being traded right now on the Offensive Player of the Year. If you did put $100 down on Jonathan Taylor, that would pay back $143, so a 43% increase on your money that you had. There are a lot of long shots in here, but it doesn't feel like those would be good bets. Like, hey, I'm going to put it on Justin Herbert. Well, yeah, if Justin Herbert wins it, Joe, a $100 wager would pay back $10,000. They even have a market for if you want to bet Malik Neighbors.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's the fan favorite. They love talking about Stafford, the 38-year-old guy. He's the Super Bowl champ. We got the family. Any opportunity to pump McVay and Stafford as a team, they do that. They love this team. They love Aaron Donald, and rightfully so. Best defensive player, but they love to pump up Stafford.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
What are those things called?
A shooting star.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that one. Like, it just burns up quick. And you love it while you can see it, and bing, it's gone in the blink of an eye.
Right.
That's my fear for Cam Scatterby.
Yeah, and that's not a big deal, but I will say it's weird, and it seems like he really enjoys that attention, which is all fine because he's a young guy.
Yeah.
But possibly dangerous in a city like New York.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
The future of the prediction markets, I think, at least for now, may be in the hands of the federal courts. But the good news for those who support prediction markets is that these court battles may last for another 2 to 3 years before we get clarity around the law. And nominee Seelig was handpicked by Donald Trump, not because he was neutral on prediction markets, but because he would do nothing to slow it down.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Happy Thanksgiving. Tyrone Johnson here as well. Like, I don't want this to be the entire show because that might be boring for some of you, but there's a major North American sports story that's happening right now that should be on the tip of everybody's tongue, and yet nobody is talking about it. And I check podcasts, radio stuff. I'm a radio geek, TV shows, you name it. I've not seen a single show talk about it. So we're going to be the first, so that when you look back on what is going to be one of the greatest, most special accomplishments in the history of North American sports, you remember. I remember when Craig and Tyrone told me about that. Do you want to take one more guess? I know you're getting help from the guys downstairs. Maybe you're going to the wrong guys. They're not good lifelines, obviously.
I got nothing.
Nothing. And I'm going to tell you what it is. You guys downstairs have nothing also?
I mean, I've used all their ideas already.
You went to, just to show you where the depths of where Tyrone went, he went to European soccer. He went to child pornography. He went to an undecided LeBron. And what was the other one?
I went to the NFL owners.
NFL owners. And a high school gym being packed watching kids play video games on a Jumbotron screen, okay?
Yeah.
All right. You have all sadly embarrassed yourselves. And while Tyrone is merely a voice piece for the people downstairs, you've all embarrassed yourselves. Now, someone in my ear just said, oh, I know, Joe Burrow coming back, smoking that Joe Burrow. No, not Joe Burrow coming back. And I've smoked that Joe Burrow, and it's pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good.
All right.
I'll tell you this, the Carmelo Anthony weed is better.
Oh.
But the Joe Burrow ganj is not bad. Is not bad. I've not had the Mike Tyson edible ears yet.
Okay.
I have had the Ricky Williams. How about this? Ricky Williams was a guest on our show when I was on FS1.
Yeah.
So I think I can lay claim to being the first guy on TV to receive and use marijuana from a former Heisman Trophy winner.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Ricky came in, boom, just handing it out.
Passing
like
it
candy.
out.
And I don't like to say no.
Right.
It'd
be rude.
I'm a gracious
it would be rude.
receiver.
It'd be very
All right,
rude.
here's the story. Okay? And then one of my co-hosts starts smoking on the air.
Well,
and it cost him his job.
Well, that's not smart.
Allegedly.
That's
he
not
denied
smart.
it, but
Okay.
I did find his pen in a meeting. So there you go. All right. In any event, you guys are sitting here under the umbrella of what might go down as one of the greatest performances and greatest seasons in the history of North American sports. And what's amazing is nobody is talking about it. It's not on SportsCenter. It's not on Fox. It's not on podcasts, radio, TV, you name it. It's as if it's not happening. But right now, if you had to take a guess, and don't cheat, don't look for your computer for 1 second.
Yeah.
And guys downstairs, don't cheat. Do you guys have any idea who right now has the best record in the NBA and what that record is?
Oh, yeah.
Take a guess.
No, I know who it is.
Yeah, who is it?
No, it's the Thunder.
Yeah, do you know what their record is?
What are they, 18-1, 17-1?
17-1.
Yeah.
Okay? They have a chance to have the greatest season any basketball team in the NBA has ever had, and their second best player hasn't played a minute
Hasn't played at all.
of basketball. Yes, I think it was the wrist injury, right? And nobody is talking about this? Like Gilchrist Alexander right now, he's, I think, just behind Luka as far as leading the league in points per game.
Yeah, Luka's going crazy.
Luka's at 35. He's killing
crazy,
it.
yeah.
SGA's at 32. So is Tyrese Maxey, by the way, who's having a great season, which is a side story for this.
No, just to add on SGA, he's not playing fourth quarters and he's averaging 32.
Right.
He's barely playing fourth quarters.
I think it's 70% of the fourth quarters that the Thunder have played this year because they're blowing everybody out.
Yeah.
They're 17-1, meaning the 72-win season is in jeopardy of coming down. And I want to be clear about this. They won the title last year and were clearly the best team coast to coast, wire to wire. They don't have their second best player playing right now, and they have a single loss all year. And oh, by the way, in the next 5 years, they have more first-round picks and second-round picks than any franchise in the NBA. We are watching the beginning of a legitimate dynasty that will compare at some point to the Bulls' great run, will compare way back in the day of the Celtics' great run. Any other team you want to come up with that has that type of dynasty?
You want to do the Bulls, Jordan Bulls?
I gave you the Bulls. I'll give you the Celtics going way back, 70 years.
I guess
the Lakers Showtime, but they kind of split with the Celtics.
They did.
Magic Bird kind of stuff, right?
You had the Spurs, the Spurs 5 rings.
The Spurs, the Bad Boy Pistons have 2, so obviously the Thunder have to get one more this year to tie them. But we're sitting here talking about, is Joe Burrow going to play against the Baltimore Ravens? And yet, we are being infiltrated by a Canadian-born basketball player who I know spent a lot of his formative years, I think it was in Tennessee, but here in our country, America. And we're sitting back like it ain't special. What SGA And what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing is stupid. It can't happen anymore, we were told. There's no more time in team sports for this level of dominance. They don't lose, and their games aren't close. The first game of the year was close. I think it was the double overtime game against the Rockets, right?
That was a great game. Yeah.
Great game, okay?
Great game.
And I think they had another overtime game right after that. But outside of that, dude, they wax people. And we got a guy who's not 6'9", right? He's not 7'6". We have a guard right now in a physical game that is dominating basketball and leading the Thunder. I know it's like, oh, the Thunder aren't popular. Don't talk about the Thunder. It's a ratings killer. F that. If we're doing a sports show, and we loosely do one here, and you're not at some point on the day before Thanksgiving acknowledging that we are right now in the middle of one of the greatest starts of a season in the history of the sport, well, damn it, shame on you and shame on us for not talking more about them. They're fun to watch. They've got great personality. They know how to win. They're unselfish. They play team basketball. They do every single thing that we complain about not seeing in the NBA. And you've got a Canadian-born kid who is the best player in basketball. All due respect to Luka, who is having a ridiculous year for the second-place Lakers. They only have 4 losses, and they're a great story also. Mm-hmm. But man, oh man, Joe Burrow might start against the Ravens, and you're not talking about something that SGA is doing? They might win 78 games this year. Like 78-4 on the table, which is crazy. Get with the program, people.
Family. You love them. But let's be honest. You need a break. While Uncle Steve explains why he hates the referee, and Aunt Linda asks why you're still single, you can be somewhere else. SportsGrid is live all Thanksgiving Day. Real-time odds, predictive data, and total silence from your in-laws. Escape the noise with SportsGrid.
A huge number out there on Cason Wallace to win Defensive Player of the Year at 500-1. That is worth your attention. And a number that I talked about before the season that I still think should be lower is Mark Daigneault to win Coach of the Year at 11-1 in the NBA. If they win 70, he's a lock for top 3. If they win 73, it's his.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
What are those things called?
A shooting star.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that one. Like it just burns up quick, and you love it while you can see it, and bing, it's gone in the blink of an eye.
Right.
That's my fear for Cam Scatterby.
Yeah, and that's not a big deal, but I will say it's weird, and it seems like he really enjoys that attention, which is all fine because he's a young guy, but possibly dangerous in a city like New York.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Close to $1 million in volume being traded right now in the Offensive Player of the Year. If you did put $100 down on Jonathan Taylor, that would pay back $143, so a 43% increase on your money that you had. There are a lot of long shots in here, but it doesn't feel like those would be good bets. Like, hey, I'm going to put it on Justin Herbert. Well, yeah, if Justin Herbert wins it, Joe, a $100 wager would pay back $10,000. They even have a market for if you want to bet Malik Neighbors.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It just got me right in the middle of a nice gulp of Coca-Cola. Good morning, everybody. We got a lot of sports today, too, by the way. You got college basketball. Syracuse got waxed by Kansas yesterday. Anthony had his worst game thus far in college, but all good. We also have a really big college football weekend, not so much because of the games that are being played. There are some key rivalry games that are coming up, but also because this is the weekend where we find out where Lane Kiffin is going. Yeah. And once Lane Kiffin decides what he's doing, all the other chips kind of fall into place because you have LSU, you got Florida, Ole Miss, and Penn State.
Yeah.
I think they're the big four. If I'm missing one, I apologize. But they're the big four right now, and it all is Penn State now. But the other three, they can't make a decision until Lane Kiffin decides, what am I doing? Now, Mississippi plays Mississippi State. That's the
Egg Bowl.
My man pots and pans. So I thought we'd have a little fun here because our producers did not know that was called the Egg Bowl.
They didn't know.
A little something called Name the Game.
Okay.
All right, so there's a lot of these games, like, for example, Arkansas versus LSU. What's that game called? Any idea?
I do not.
Started in 1901. It's called the Golden Boot Game. I didn't know that either.
Oh.
Well, how would I know that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you how many? Remember the game Card Sharks?
Yeah.
Where like you'd flip a card over, let's just say it was a 6, and you had to say higher or lower, Bob, that kind of thing. So let's just set a number. I'm going to give you random games. A lot of these games are this weekend. You know, the rivalry games. Some aren't. I want how many consecutive ones do you think you can get right?
Consecutive?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3.
You get 3 consecutive ones right.
Yeah.
All right, let me start you off with...
Egg Bowl should count.
All right, here we go. California versus Stanford is known as the...
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm choking because I know this one. I'm going to get it wrong. Go ahead.
The Axe Bowl.
Okay, yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I thought it was the battle or something for the Axe.
Well, isn't the Cal-Stanford game the band game, the marching band game?
Yeah, but
that was Cal-Stanford, right?
Yeah.
But we don't call that the marching band game?
No.
That's what I call it.
That happened in the 80s, didn't it?
All right, I don't know.
This game's been played a long time.
Let's see. Do you know what the Penn State-Rutgers game is called?
That's the Trash Bowl.
That's called very close.
The Trash Bowl.
It's the Irrelevance Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that never counts for anything. All right.
All right.
I think they play. It's the only way Rutgers sells out, though. So I give Penn State, the cult members of Penn State, credit. They do travel well.
They travel very well.
Yeah, it's usually they travel right after their teachers go, look at the pendulum swinging back and forth. You're getting sleepy.
Oh, my goodness.
Now I want you to pack your bags and drive to New Jersey and watch the Nittany Lions play football against the Scarlet Knights. Woo-hoo. Anyway, all right, here we go.
A lot of wine. People drink wine primarily for tailgates. Many people at the Rutgers games.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Out of
Drink
Solo
wine
Cup.
at a tailgate.
I'm telling you, at Rutgers, there's a whole alumni section that does big
They might drink
wine
Mad
out of
Dog 2020
They're drinking
or Boone's
5
Farm.
bottles of wine.
No, they're not.
Out
In
of
Solo
Solo
Cups.
Cups. Yup.
At Rutgers?
At Rutgers.
Rutgers people aren't are at the level of drinking wine?
Yes, they are.
No.
Not all of them. These people are sophisticated people. I know them personally. They have a great time.
You know sophisticated Rutgers graduates who drink like Merlot out of a Solo Cup?
Solo Cup, because then that way you don't spill it. If you spill it, you spill it. Otherwise, the wine, you don't want to spill it.
Why would
you have
you
the Solo
spill
Cup.
it?
Because you're doing all your tailgate stuff. You're moving around. You never do tailgate.
All right. Well, if you're at Rutgers, bring your Solo Cup. Someone's got wine for you.
That's right.
All right, let's see if I can give you one here. Do you know what Indiana, Kentucky is known as?
I do not.
The Bourbon Barrel. You guys anyone get that one?
The Bourbon Barrel.
Got that one?
That's a good name.
Let's see. Michigan, Minnesota. Got to get that one.
Wait, Michigan, Minnesota. That's not this week.
Oh, that's not this week. I'm sorry. That's the Little Brown Jug.
Yeah.
Michigan, Ohio State.
That's the game.
No, I know. Michigan, Ohio State. What's it known? What's it called?
The game.
Is Michigan versus Ohio State, but what's the name of it?
It's called The Game.
Is that what?
That's what it's called.
Is it really?
Yes.
It's called The Game?
It's called The Game.
It's not on my list here.
It is. It's called The Game. That's it.
When did we start calling Michigan, Ohio State The Game?
A few decades ago.
No, I'm being honest about that. Does anyone know? Can someone look that up?
No, this goes back a long way.
I think it's called The Game now because Ohio State, while winning a national championship and being dominant, can't beat Michigan. That's the one team that
4 years in a row. 4 years in a row.
4 consecutive years.
Yeah.
So if you're a graduating senior at Michigan, you're like, we own Ohio State. And can you imagine if you're a graduating senior at Ohio State, you've never beaten Michigan, right?
Yeah,
They're
right.
your Waterloo.
1935 is when they start calling it The Game.
Really?
1935.
So it's 90 years it's been known as The Game?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Something new for me. I didn't know that. I'll give you one more, and then we do have some other stuff to get to today, including Joe Burrow playing against Baltimore. All right. What is the Syracuse West Virginia game known as?
I don't know. What's it
The
called?
Ben Schwartz Balls game.
What?
That's what it is.
Close to $1 million in volume being traded right now in the Offensive Player of the Year. If you did put $100 down on Jonathan Taylor, that would pay back $143, so a 43% increase on your money that you had. There are a lot of long shots in here, but it doesn't feel like those would be good bets. Like, hey, I'm going to put it on Justin Herbert. Well, yeah, if Justin Herbert wins it, Joe, a $100 wager would pay back $10,000. They even have a market for if you want to bet Malik Neighbors.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's the fan favorite. They love talking about Stafford, the 38-year-old guy. He's the Super Bowl champ. We got the family. Any opportunity to pump McVay and Stafford as a team, they do that. They love this team. They loved Aaron Donald, and rightfully so. Best defensive player, but they love to pump up Stafford.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
What are those things called?
A shooting star.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that one. Like it just burns up quick. And you love it while you can see it, and bing, it's gone in the blink of an eye.
Right.
That's my fear for Cam Scatterby.
Yeah, and that's not a big deal, but I will say it's weird, and it seems like he really enjoys that attention, which is all fine because he's a young guy, but possibly dangerous in a city like New York.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid. Family, you love them. But let's be honest, you need a break. While Uncle Steve explains why he hates the referee, and Aunt Linda asks why you're still single, you can be somewhere else. SportsGrid is live all Thanksgiving Day. Real-time odds, predictive data, and total silence from your in-laws. Escape the noise with SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. 3 huge football games tomorrow, then you got one on Friday. We'll be here tomorrow. Tyrone will be here by himself on Friday. But, one of the storylines is the Cincinnati-Baltimore game, which is obviously now a huge game for Baltimore as they've taken over the division lead from Pittsburgh. They've won 5 consecutive games. They're over 500 now, and the division title is theirs for the taking. They're in total control of their destiny with a bunch of division games still coming up, including tomorrow night. It's the last game of the trio tomorrow night. And one of the storyline is that Joe Burrow is going to play. And he should play, by the way. If he's healthy and the toe is fine, why wouldn't he play? And yet there are people out there that are questioning whether or not Joe Burrow should play because the season is a wrap for the Bengals. They're, 3-7, I think, right now, right?
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, so it's over, it's done. I think they're going to have a new coach next year, blah, 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 blah. But the same people that are now publicly questioning why Joe Burrow is playing in a lost season, coming off yet another injury, would be the same people that have a problem with load management in the NBA, the same people that have a problem when superstars take themselves out of games or don't fight through injuries, and you just cannot have it both ways. Joe Burrow, has a contract worth north of $250 million. He's the highest paid Bengal in the history of the franchise, and it's not close. And what I loved about Joe Burrow yesterday, because he was asked the question, why are you playing? The season's a wrap. You had another injury. It was the toe turf, dislocated toe,
it was bad,
whatever it was, right? It's like the 4th injury you've had of significance in your short but illustrious career. And Joe Burrow came out and said, if I'm healthy, I'm playing. My mind can't process being able to play and sitting on the sideline because we're 3-7. Because the season's lost. They're paying me a lot of money. And oh, by the way, I love playing football. Now, not every athlete loves playing. We've seen guys that go through the motions and just, steal money and steal a check. But he's not one of those guys. He's also in his athletic prime. And one of the realities of being a professional athlete is that the far majority of your careers end, sadly, before you turn 30, not after you turn 30. Quarterbacks, of course, are different, and he will play well into his 30s, A, because they're paying him a lot of money, and B, because the sport allows that, right?
Yep.
but he's also had significant injuries that have curtailed more than half of his career thus far have been lost to medical situations. But I love the fact, I'm not a Bengals guy. I don't much care for Cincinnati. It's why most smart people that work in Cincinnati live in Kentucky. It's the armpit of the Midwest. And I go on and on and on about the only great thing about Cincinnati is Skyline Chili. I'm here for all of it, okay?
Okay.
Oh, you don't like runny bolognese and spaghetti on top of your beans? I do, okay? I love Skyline Chili, and I get mine 10-way, which means everything in the kitchen goes on top of them beans, okay? That being said, we need more people like Joe Burrow. Like, one of my biggest gripes about LeBron James, especially this year, is inventing an injury and taking time off. Joe Burrow's not doing that. Joe Burrow got the medical clearance to play, and he's telling the Bengals, I'm playing. Am I at risk of injury? You're at risk of injury every time you walk on an NFL field. No more than he was, 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, right? But the people out there that are yelling and screaming, why is Joe Burrow playing? You're either diehard Ravens fans, which makes a lot of sense to me, because if I'm a Ravens fan, I don't want to see Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow represents a threat to my streak right now that's at 5, and I want to make it 6, and I want to get the 7-5 overall and cross my fingers that the Steelers lose, and I open up myself a full game advantage over Pittsburgh for the division title. But if you're not a Ravens fan, and you're just one of these armchair quarterbacks who thinks you know better than everybody else, I'm sorry, guys, you're wrong. We expect guys to play when they are healthy. The only time, in my opinion, a player should not play when he's healthy is at the very end of a season in a rout. And if I got a playoff game next week, and you saw it with Saquon Barkley last year, where the season was over.
Game was meaningless.
Game is meaningless, and they're getting him ready for a playoff game. I tolerate that. I accept that, because there's bigger fish to fry. The Bengals have nothing to play for other than the joy they would get if they played the role of spoiler. I'm sure Cincinnati fans would love to take responsibility for knocking either the Steelers or the Ravens out. One of those two teams has to win the division and get a playoff game. But whichever team doesn't, for Cincinnati, the only thing left to play for is to bow up your chest and say, whether it's the Steelers or the Ravens, the reason you're not playing in the playoffs is because of us. And I respect that. That's how fans should be.
He actually said it's a division rivalry. It's intense out there, something I wanted to be out there for.
Right. He wants to beat a division rival. If the Baltimore Ravens don't make the playoffs, Joe Burrow wants it to be because when they go back and look at their season, they're going to say, I can't believe we lost to the Bengals in week 13. And you get joy out of that. Fan bases, we get joy out of that. Like, as a Jet fan, I got nothing to play for. But if I could somehow, insert myself into the Patriots, for example, not having home field advantage, that's a win for me.
January 4th, the Jets play the Bills. You might be able to knock the Bills out of the playoffs.
And by the way, and then comes the rub of, should you go out there and lose for a better draft pick, or should you go out there and try to beat the Bills and maybe knock them out of the playoffs? Now, you can make a great argument amongst fans that from a fan standpoint, why are we trying to win a game when it costs us a pick? Let me give you some history on that. If you go back 5 years, maybe 5 years, the New York Jets had a game late in the season. If they lose the game, they get Trevor Lawrence as their first pick in the draft, their number 1 overall. We can debate Trevor's career all day and night. That's not the point.
He's better than the guy the Jets took.
For sure. So the Jets went out there, because players don't understand quitting or rolling over or losing on purpose. We do as fans.
Right.
But the players went out there, and the Jets won a meaningless game. And instead of getting Trevor Lawrence We got
Oh, you got that bum in
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
That's
Miami.
right. Who can't play quarterback in the NFL.
Fresh out of BYU.
So while the players competed, which I respect, it hurt the franchise and set us back another decade, right?
You know you're in danger of that. You play the Patriots and the Bills the last 2 weeks. So if you play spoiler, it can hurt you again.
So I've never rooted for losing. I can't do it. I don't have it inside my head. And I recognize that if you win meaningless games, it costs you a potential draft pick. Oh, well. The New York Jets don't draft smartly anyway. I'll suck up drafting third instead of first if that's my lot, and I hope that they figure it out. But you can't ask players to lose on purpose. You can't expect players to lose on purpose. And if you're that concerned, and I know some of you are just, blowing smoke, but if you're that concerned, well, what if he gets hurt again? Man, it's football. There's not a game that has ever been played on any level where somebody doesn't get hurt at some level. We're playing football today. It's our annual pre-Thanksgiving game. It's easy two-hand touch football at our local high school field. Someone's going to get hurt.
An ankle or something, a wrist or something.
It's probably going to be me. But you know what? I'm playing because I'm a player. It's the last grasp I have on playing organized sports one day a year, the day before Thanksgiving at 3 p.m. You're all welcome to come, all right? But you cannot tell Joe Burrow, whether you're smoking it or not, that he shouldn't play football. That's his job, and he takes pride in it. And from a fan base standpoint, yes, if you're one of these analytical fans who is devoid of emotion, who now wants to say the better draft pick is more important than beating the Ravens, I think you're in the minority on that. Because when we all get together at the local sports bar, if I'm a Bengals fan and you're a Ravens fan and that guy over there is a Steelers fan, while you have Trump on me because you had a better record and one, if not both of you, are playing in the postseason, if I'm the guy that knocked either one of you out, I walk into that sports bar chest front. I walk in going, yeah, I may have only won 5 games, but 2 of them were against you, and I'm the reason you're sitting next to me the second week of January without a team to root for. So you cannot tell Joe Burrow not to play. And Joe Burrow, good job. You should play in this game. You're still going to lose, but you should play.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is not going to go away, folks. This betting scandal that involved Terry Rozier, that involved Jonte Porter last year, and then obviously with Chauncey Billups getting involved and stuff like that, this is not going away. This is not good. And this is not the end of this scandal.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
The future of the prediction markets, I think, at least for now, may be in the hands of the federal courts. But the good news for those who support prediction markets is that these court battles may last for another 2 to 3 years before we get clarity around the law. And nominee Seelig was handpicked by Donald Trump, not because he was neutral on prediction markets, but because he would do nothing to slow it down.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
He's the fan favorite. They love talking about Stafford, the 38-year-old guy. He's the Super Bowl champ. We got the family. Any opportunity to pump McVay and Stafford as a team, they do that. They love this team. They love Aaron Donald, and rightfully so. Best defensive player, but they love to pump up Stafford.
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, we're Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Tyrone Johnson here as well. We'll be here tomorrow. Tyrone will be here on Friday. And make sure to download, subscribe, and comment on the podcast. We've got great podcast exclusives, and more will be popping up throughout the next couple of weeks and months and into next year. Faux show. A couple news and notes for you. LeBron James yesterday said that he is undecided on whether or not this is going to be his last year or not. Now, a lot of you don't translate LeBron's words into English. I do. I'm a professional LeBron translator. So let me walk you through that. When LeBron James says, I am undecided on retiring or not, in English that means there is no way I'm retiring without going on a full worldwide tour, announcing my retirement and receiving gifts and adulation from every single team in the NBA. So I will announce my retirement before a season starts so I can go on a retirement tour so everybody can talk about how great my career has been, because I'm a selfish egomaniac, and there is no way I would have the class or decency to just retire and disappear into the sunset. When LeBron James decides he's retiring, it is coming with trumpets blaring, Adam Silver by his side, and he is going on a state-by-state, coast-to-coast tour so that everyone can acknowledge how great he was and give him a parting gift and thank him for his amazing contributions to the NBA. There is no way that egomaniac, that narcissist, is ever going to retire without it being fully planned out and choreographed like a Beyonce concert. So to answer your question, when LeBron says he's undecided, what he means is, I'm not retiring. I'm not retiring until the NBA agrees that next season is referred to as the LeBron season. Yeah.
Now that's really cruel for you to talk about.
That's facts.
For you to talk about Derek Jeter that way. That's real messed up.
Derek Jeter did no such thing.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. For you to talk about Derek Jeter in New York, we're in New York right now. For you to talk about Derek Jeter that way, blasphemous.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of what you're doing.
Allow me to say this at that basis.
Wow.
At that basis attack towards
Derek Jeter,
towards the captain,
Mr. Yankee, the captain, and that's how you talk about him.
This is what LeBron fans do.
Hurtful.
LeBron fans deflect. LeBron fans can't just eat facts. So instead of eating
one fact, you didn't say a single fact.
Pardon me, sir. Instead of eating the reality of what I'm saying being factual, Tyrone does what all the other LeBron stans do, and that is deflect away from their guy and find someone else that was at his level. Jeter certainly is, and I think surpassed him, of course.
No, absolutely not. A little lower.
And greatness. But that being said, rather than own what LeBron is, let me find another superstar and poke fun at that guy who, by the way, has been retired for a decade. But let's take shots at Derek Jeter.
I didn't.
At this stage of his life.
You did.
I want to be clear about the Jeter story.
I did.
The New York Yankees decided to monetize the Jeter retirement, not Derek Jeter. He wanted no part of it, but because he's a good soldier and the Yankees did right by him financially and he loved the Steinbrenner family, when they came to him and said, we want to monetize your last year, he begrudgingly said, okay. LeBron's the author of it. LeBron is the narcissist. LeBron is the guy that wants to be feted by every team in the league and told how great he is and what an honor it was to be on the same court with him. That's the difference. LeBron James is not going to retire without a parade in every city honoring his greatness. Well, trust me.
Well, if it happens, then I'll agree with you at that point. But it has not happened. And it also happened with Dirk. And Kobe is just messed up, the people you talk about. Because they did that.
Again, deflect. RP
Kobe.
Keep on deflecting. Then there's this crazy story in Virginia, which is going to be a movie for sure.
Yeah.
Like this has Netflix movie written all over it. I'm fascinated by it because for now, this guy named Travis Turner, who's a legendary football coach in this very small neighborhood in town, really like a Friday Night Lights type of scenario, down in Virginia, whose dad was also a rock star in the same town. He's won state championships and all that. Was a week away from another state championship game. He's a high school football coach. Used to be a girls softball coach. And all this guy does is win. He's married. He has children of his own, okay? And the week prior to the latest playoff game, no joke, the guy literally walked into the woods somewhere near his house or neighborhood and has not been seen from or heard from again. So obviously the town's in a panic. What happened to Coach Turner? Now we find out after his disappearance that the state police have an indictment and are ready to charge him with possession of child pornography. Now, there's some debate how much of it. To me, if you have one picture, that's enough. It's too much, right? One is no worse than 1,000. It means you're into sick stuff, and the law should come down upon you, and you should not allow to be coaching children or anywhere in their presence other than your own, I suppose, right? So the crazy thing now is that he hasn't been found yet.
No.
So there's a warrant out for his arrest. He has not been found guilty of anything just yet. But the thought amongst people following the story is, if you know that you have child pornography on your phone and computer, and you're into that, sick, depraved, behavior, if you know that they're onto you, many people decide, I'm not going to let them arrest me because I can only imagine what life would be like behind bars as a convicted pedophile. Not good. You don't make it beyond a couple weeks in a prison, depending on what prison you're in, if you're a convicted pedophile. So the thought now, sadly, is maybe he took his own life. Now there's been manhunts for him. They're combing the neighbor. They're combing
dogs,
the
drones,
forest and all
everything,
that.
yeah.
But it's a really crazy story because it's one of those like Dateline type stories where, you remember the movie voice guy? In a small, idyllic New England town, there's a pedophile among us. Unfortunately, nobody knows. It's like one of those scenarios.
Yeah, it really is.
Married dude, good guy, blue-collar worker, has, I think, 3 or 4 kids of his own, has been a teacher and a coach for 20-plus years, and is beloved in the community. But it's the old saying, you don't know what happens behind closed doors. And while we don't have this to be factual yet, they apparently have the goods on him and have confiscated computers and phones and his digital footprint, and it doesn't look good. I can tell you that. Meanwhile, the town's trying to rally around the kids because they have a championship playoff game coming up, and the backup coach, the assistant coach, is going to coach it. But you could Google Travis Turner. It's a crazy story.
Yeah, they won the last game he coached before he disappeared. They won 40-7. They've been a really good football team.
They're studs.
Yeah, they're the favorites, amongst the people in that town to win, and he's just gone.
Yep, we got a break coming up, but I'm being told right now we do have breaking news. Okay. The breaking news is I'm being told that my translation of LeBron's comments have been confirmed. LeBron James will not retire without a world tour. So we have it confirmed now. LeBron's coming back for one more year.
Let's play our game of buy or sell. Buy or sell. Thursday night football should end after week 10, George. You're going to buy or sell this?
It's too short a week. It's not healthy for the players. You'll never be able to convince me otherwise here. The NFL will tell you, stats tell us no, it's not more injuries. And that's all BS. All right. Should it end after week 10? In a perfect world, there probably should be no Thursday night games. Should it end after week 10? Sure, I'll buy this. But it's not going to. There's too much money here. It's never going to end, all right? They're going to have it forever. You're lucky there's not a Friday, Saturday schedule as well, and there's some laws involved there as to why there's not. The NFL is going to have a schedule or for any day they can get here. It's all about money here. And if the players don't want it, by the way, you got to realize, well, you're going to lose a significant chunk of revenue out of your salary as well here.
Right.
So I'll buy this, but it doesn't matter. It's not going away.
I mean, George just basically said everything that I was going to say, so what is the reality? The games, so of course I'll buy it. The games are not good. Generally, the home team has a big advantage. If not, the teams are not prepared to play on Thursday night. Yes, there have been some upsets and some underdogs winning. We saw it Thursday night. But the quality of play on Thursday is lower than what it is on the weekends. And there's no end in sight to it because of what George said, the money. That's just all that matters. If Amazon Prime doesn't take it, Netflix will take it. If they don't take it, Apple will take it. If they don't take it, somebody else will take it. I don't know. Hulu, I don't know. You make it up. Someone will. So it is not going away. And, generally speaking, I'm excited every week when the games begin, and then I forget, and then the games usually stink, and I'm like, oh, gosh, this game wasn't good anyway. So George is right. Not going away because of the money.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Power 5 coming up in just 1 second, but those of you that have been following this crazy story with the World's Strongest Woman competition, I don't know if you have been following it, I have. A gal, quote unquote, named Jamie Booker apparently won the official Strongman Games World Championships in Arlington, Texas a couple days ago. But it turns out that Jamie Booker, no surprise, not a woman at all. Jamie Booker, born a man. Jamie Booker, transgendered. I'm not sure if, there you go right there. Like, what gave it away, Billy? I don't know. Her penis?
Oh my God. Her what? Huh?
Like, you're telling me that organizers at no point were like, well, that Jamie Booker really looks like a guy named Frank I used to work out with. Like, come on now. So the gal that came in second place, because at the award ceremony, they gave the gold medal to that guy, even though it's a women's competition. And the woman who was born a woman, is Andrea Thompson, ran off crying that she had been screwed, right? Well, they did a little investigation. And yeah, I mean, I don't know why it was that hard to figure out. Just take a look at the picture. Like, that's not a woman. Right? Again, the penis usually gives it away. In any event, Jamie Booker was stripped of its title and is no longer the world's strongest woman.
No, a Brazilian woman now is the winner. Don't bring her picture up.
Huh?
Don't bring her picture up.
I want to say in second place?
Well, no. We can't. And second of all,
you'll show me offline or not?
Okay. I got questions.
Fair enough.
That's all. I got questions.
Fair enough. All right, time now.
I got questions.
Time now for your Power 5. We do this every Wednesday. This is the Thanksgiving edition of your Power 5. These are the unequivocal, undebatable 5 greatest teams right now in the NFL. Obviously, it changes every single week, so we keep up with the times and the results. We'll go 5-1. Your 5th place team right now, coming off their bye week, are the Denver Broncos.
All right.
Denver Broncos have a legitimate shot right now to be the 1 seed overall. A lot of close games, not great offensively, but badass defense, obviously well coached. And the Denver Broncos have made it into our Thanksgiving Power 5 at number 5. Number 4 is going to be questionable for some of you, but again, remember, the Power 5 cannot be debated. It's never wrong.
Okay.
So this might be part of your conversation at Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow night. But the San Francisco 49ers are your 4th best team in football. McCaffrey is all the way back. Brock Purdy had his worst half of football last week. He's only 2 games back from the injury. Brock Purdy's only going to keep getting better. They're the one of the top NFC defenses right now, very well coached, and do not sleep on the San Francisco 49ers. I know you're going to say, what about the Rams in Seattle?
So you got three people in one division in your Power 5?
I don't know. Let's go to number 3.
All right.
Number 3, again, Sam Darnold coming off a bad game a couple weeks ago, threw 5 interceptions, damn near threw a 6th and a 7th and an 8th. But the Seattle Seahawks are damn good.
He bounced back.
Damn good. Kanon running the rock. Defensively, they're very, very good. One of the top defensive teams in all football. And they're getting, other than a game here or there, a quarter here or there, very good quarterback play. They've got the best wide receiver in football right now. And you cannot sleep on the Seattle Seahawks. They are all the way back. They are the 3rd best team in the NFL. Which brings me to number 2. Number 2. Are you ready? The Baltimore Ravens.
Get out of here.
Are the 2nd best team in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens have won 5 straight
ridiculous.
games.
The quarterback's on one leg.
I told you they would win out. At 1-5, I told you 12-5 was going to happen.
Still not going to happen.
They are halfway there.
It's ridiculous.
They've gotten a 6-5. They're over 500.
When's the last time they looked good?
They are in first place.
When's the last time they looked good?
And they play the Bengals tomorrow night. That'll take them to 7-5. The Baltimore Ravens are the AFC team you want no part of.
This is ridiculous.
Lamar Jackson will be the MVP of the league when he strings off 10 consecutive wins.
He hasn't even played well. He's stuck against the Browns. He hasn't been
Which
good.
means either the Eagles or the Rams did not make the Power 5 for the first time in months. And the Patriots, that's right.
Who should be there above the Ravens in that number 2 spot.
That's
but
right.
whatever.
Remember, the New England Patriots haven't played anybody, which is why the Patriots are not on the list. When they beat a winning team, I'll think about the Patriots. Right now, every team they've beaten is under 500 but 2, and one of those wins was against the Bills, and the Bills aren't very good. Are you ready?
Sure.
Here we go. The number 1 team in the Thanksgiving Power 5 are the Los Angeles Rams. They're playing the best football. They've got the MVP at quarterback. They run well. They're coached well. Defensively, they've picked it up. The Rams right now are the team to beat.
Listen, I think that 20% of that list was fantastic.
You think one? You think one pick was fantastic?
That's right. Number 1, the Rams are right.
Number 1. Listen, thank you for watching. Enjoy Thanksgiving tomorrow. We'll have a Thanksgiving special for you. Tyrone will be here on Friday. And do yourselves a favor. Don't talk politics at Thanksgiving tomorrow. Enjoy the day. Enjoy your family. Have a blessed holiday. I'll be back on Monday. Peace out.